let's talk about acceleration. Okay, and for this topic, I am loading some notes which you can download and follow along. Right. So if you see your screens now, there is this download option on the bottom left corner. From here, you can download these notes and follow with me. Okay. So guys, acceleration. What is acceleration? It is the rate of change of velocity of an object with respect to time. Okay. Just remember that there has to be a change of velocity for us to consider acceleration. Okay. Now, it is a vector quantity. Can anyone tell me the two properties of vector quantity? You can just speak out, raise your hands, type. Right, I'm seeing some answers. Rahul Kumar is raising his hand. Yes, Rahul.
Ma'am, it's magnitude and direction.
Perfect, right. Yes. And Rohini is also saying magnitude and direction, RF magnitude and direction. Perfect, yes. Right, guys. So, light velocity, acceleration also has magnitude and direction, and both of them need to be considered. So, symbol of acceleration is small a, and if we write it in a way of formula, we can say acceleration is equal to change in velocity upon time. Now, guys, here change in velocity is your final velocity minus the initial velocity, right? So if you remember from velocity, final velocity is symbolized by small v and initial velocity by small u, right? And time t. So hence we can write A acceleration is equal to v minus u upon t, right? That's your formula for acceleration. Now moving on, the SI unit for acceleration is meter per second square, and this meter per second square is because we are doing velocity upon time, so you get meter per second square, right? Now acceleration may be positive or negative, and negative acceleration is also known as deceleration or retardation, right guys? Now let's see when acceleration is positive and when it's negative. Acceleration will be positive when the initial velocity u is lower than the final velocity v, right? And negative acceleration happens when the initial velocity u is higher than the final velocity v. Now to understand this better, let's look at an example, right? Okay. So your mother asked you to bring some groceries from the nearby shop, right? And you decide to take your bike. Now, currently, your bike is at rest in the parking lot, right? But slowly, as you drive off, you increase your velocity. Then, say for some time, you drive at a constant velocity. And then, as the shop approaches, you start decreasing your velocity and eventually come to a halt. Right, guys? So now you can see here several points where there is a change in velocity. Okay, say this is A, segment A, B, and C. Now let's discuss. What do you think, guys? When do you think the velocity will be positive? Anyone? Okay, so Bhavesh thinks A, right? Out of A, Rohini A. Perfect, guys. Right, you identified that correctly. So here we can say your velocity was 0. Then say you increased it to 30 meters per second. And then in segment B, you say drove at the constant velocity of 30. And then in C, you decreased it and then eventually came to a halt at 0, right? So here in segment A, we see that the initial velocity, 0, is lower than the final velocity, 30, right? And hence, in this, you see positive acceleration. Okay, what about B? Anyone? Rahul Kumar is raising his hand. Yes, Rahul. In B, deceleration. No, Rahul. Anyone else? Before I explain. Okay, yes. Rohini says constant velocity. Right, right. So now since there is constant velocity, guys, and there is no change in velocity, there is actually no acceleration, right? Remember, acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. And since there is no change in velocity, there is zero acceleration. Okay, talking of the next segment, C. In C, you can see that we are decreasing the velocity. Your initial velocity is 30, final velocity is 0. And since your initial velocity is higher than your final velocity, you see negative acceleration over here. Right, guys? Now let's quickly also do some quick numericals to understand this even better. So here I have quoted this same example where you can see a bike starts at 0 meters per second and increases its speed to 30 meters per second, say in a span of 5 seconds, right? So in this case, acceleration would be, now we know the formula is A is equal to V minus U upon T, right? Where your V is final velocity, U is your initial velocity, and T is time, right? So you put in the values and you get A is equal to 6 meters per second square. Similarly, can you guys do this quick numerical for negative acceleration, where the bike is moving at 30 meters per second, it decreases its speed to 0 meters per second in span of 6 seconds. That's your time. And right, I'm already seeing some answers. Yes, R of -5. Rahul is raising his hand again. Yes, Rahul?
Ma'am, -5 meters per second square.
Perfect, perfect. Yes, yes. Okay, perfect. I see everyone saying -5 meters per second square. That's right, guys. Okay, now a quick question. Can I say -5 meters per second square is deceleration? True or false? Drop in your answers. Okay, as responses have started coming in. -5 meter per second square is deceleration. True or false? Okay. And I have everyone's response now. I'm publishing the results. Let's see what everyone is saying. And perfect. Okay, I have 5 trues. 100% response rate as true.
Ma'am,
Which is
I
the right
cannot see
answer?
the entire screen.
Okay.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I cannot see the entire screen.
Okay, just a moment. Is this visible now?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Can you see this? Okay, perfect. So now we can see that 100% students said true, which is the right answer. That's great, guys. We can move ahead now. All right.